It's me. This is me on day 9 or so. Have you ever wondered when you're approaching your mid-20s, when you no longer do sports anymore, where every Tuesday or Friday was a sports day at school? You could breathe a little easier, move a little quicker, and then it just became so much harder. Either you do weights saying cardio kills gains, or you stuff your face with food and before you know it, it becomes tiring just to get to the grocery store. For me, I'm the guy that says cardio kills gains, but to be honest with you, I just suck at catching my breath, so I decided to try and do something about it. I was born an asthmatic, having a big machine hooked to me when I was really small, and then that grew into a blue puffer. My father's way of solving asthma involved waking up super early when the sun just breaks and running in the cold, feeling out of breath everywhere I went and making my lungs just hurt. So I thought to myself, why not? It's near the end of October. Plan was to sleep early, have healthy eating, pushing myself to my limits and being the best shape that I can be. I'm gonna be bolting and running like a bloody movie. And before I knew it, I didn't start. I didn't wake up early. I had so many events, weddings, work, meetings, games when it felt tough. Takeaway after takeaway. I had a goal in mind and didn't execute. A voice in the back of my head just wanting, but my body not doing. One day, being the 12th of November, I started walking on a treadmill at my house at 11:30 p.m, shared that treadmill with my partner and walked on the spot with a show on and just did something for 30 minutes. The next morning, I did weight training for an hour and a half and did a 30-minute treadmill. Not ideal for muscle growth, but I had to do something. The third day was hard, especially when the gym had blacked out for 10 minutes and I just stood there waiting for the power to come on. Fourth day, I couldn't do it at the gym, but I took my time, walking outside and being outside for 30 minutes. It was a struggle. It wasn't hard to do, but it was hard to get up and start. It was all going to plan for the 30-day challenge until day 12. I got sick. Had fever, sweats, hurts to move. It was tough to keep back on schedule. Didn't have an alarm and just slept. The voice came back, nagging at me to do something, but I can't help but feel completely and utterly useless. I was like that for a bit over a week, and fortunately, my partner did something for me to distract myself, and something she did before, sparkle up. It was a tedious thing to do. Some days I did want to do it, some days I didn't. It did not look too good, and each individual item didn't help. Some were in line, some weren't. Some had to be removed, and some I dropped. We actually started doing an art project together, but it wasn't a competition. After all, it was all for the sake of creativity. It took me a couple weeks to recover, but I started off by walking a bit, then running. I felt better and kept doing my art and ran without minding the time. Not necessarily thinking about it, but enjoying something being put together. It's funny how it came about, but you'll never know what you're meant to do initially. You might have some idea of what you want to do and start, but eventually things happen and change. If I had to give some rules and tips from this journey, it will be this. Tip number 1. Failure is success. I encourage you to have consistency and have no expectations. You are not Usain Bolt as soon as you hit the floor. You are not Paddy the Baddy when you get close to an octagon. You are a learner. Whether you are day 1 or day 365, continue to keep progressing and highlight failures to understand and improve. If you are honest and willing, you will be better than you can ever imagine. Number 2, steps can change, but keep the vision the same. You have to be flexible in your steps. The sooner you realize that there are multiple pathways to achieving the same goal, the easier the journey. Be open-minded to change and never drift away from the goal. The hardest concept I had to accept was that when things didn't go to plan, if things didn't work the way I want it to be, but maybe it's not meant for you, and you have to believe that something better will come along. My last and final tip number 3, start. Do not overthink. It is so easy to overcrowd your thoughts with logistics. How do I run? Am I running strangely? Do I have the right stride? Damn, I forgot to breathe. Do not plan. For example, with swimming, there is multiple things that you can be doing wrong. Crossing your hand over, breathing incorrectly, how to properly turn your body. But the number one most unexpected thing I did not know that is a common mistake in new and experienced swimmers is that if they don't consciously acknowledge this, swimmers cannot look forward while swimming. If you keep swimming with the end in mind and only focus on looking at the end, it will cause so much drag and pull the lower end of your body down and slow it. Surprisingly, the right way to do it is to keep your head facing down and keep pushing forward. Likewise, I encourage you to just start and keep doing it. Trust the process. Trust yourself. You will learn and improve along the way and hold yourself accountable to actioning those items you want. Life has its own set of challenges that you can't plan for. Illnesses, accidents, events. But what everyone has in this world is 24 hours. For this point in time, I decided for myself to take my weakness head on, be privileged to be here, and choose to struggle. So I encourage you, whatever it is you know that you need to do, that you want to do, start now. One of the quotes that helped me is that one of the basic rules in the universe is that nothing is perfect. Perfection simply doesn't exist. Without imperfection, neither you nor I would exist. By Stephen Hawking. But who am I to say anything? I'm just your average Joe who tried to run for 30 days and didn't do so well. I'm still trying to be better. And I think you know that you can too.